not being able to concentrate in school. And I remember now how let down I was by the system in school. I, at 11, averaged 80% of my exams. When my father left after the fire, I went down to 20%. That's quite a dip. You'd think someone would notice. Well, happily they did, and I got taken to the headmistress for failing my exams. And I sat there wanting to say something, hoping that she'd spot something. I was such a good kid in school, and you know what she said? She said, "Booth, your family problems don't bother me. Nobody's interested. Stop whining and get on with your work." Not the best support system. School is a hard, friendless place for the COA. It's hard to behave normally when you're in that environment. So perhaps like me, a lot of COAs, children of alcoholics, get bullied as well, because you don't know how to adapt in social situations. You don't know the rules of interaction. And there are still not effective support centres. How can this be possible? I did seek help when I was 17 because I knew I was losing it. I thought, great as this feeling is, wild a time as you're having, this isn't, you're dissociating yourself, you're not reacting normally. So I went to the student counsellor at Barnet College, and if you're here, Diane, no? Pity. Diane was proof of the essential need to have good first contact for the child of an alcoholic. Because if you don't get that contact in, they may never seek help again. So this is what happened. I described what effects my mother's drinking was having in all the gory detail, but I did it very calmly. I was still quite a confident teenager. I described the violence, the blood up the wall, all of it. And I went 3 times. And on the 3rd session, she looked at me and she said, "This can't be happening to you. You're too confident, your teachers say you're doing well, and you're popular. Get out. Oh, no. Stop wasting my time and attention seeking." I had what I suppose was a breakdown a month later. Stopped talking, got taken to my grandparents. They thought I'd taken an overdose, but I just couldn't talk. I just couldn't really do anything anymore. A 5-year-old crying will get sympathy from passers-by. A 12-year-old smoking and swearing will get hated, expelled, eventually arrested. Same child, 7 years down the line. Now this is the point. When a child from the sort of home that I came from, shattered by alcohol, stops crying, then you've got a problem. Then you've got a lack of empathy. Then you've got a child who, feeling powerful like I did, can do some real damage. This coldness is what sets teenagers on a course that begins with self-harm and all too often leads to a cycle of substance abuse being repeated down the generations. At 16, high on lighter fluids, spliff and vodka, I roamed the streets as well. I could hold that lit cigarette to my hand. I was rude, I swore, I did everything the same teenagers do now, for the same reasons, I suspect. After all, if you get beaten and abused in your own bedroom, nothing the outside world has for you can ever be as bad. Here's the stages I wrote down while writing this that a child goes through in a home where alcohol is abused. 1, disbelief. Why are my mum and dad being like this? 2, self-pity. Why is this happening to me? What have I done? 3, envy. I wish so-and-so's parents were my parents. Every child has that to a greater or lesser degree. Believe me, sometimes it's to a greater degree. 4, self-doubt and guilt. Did I make this happen? If my parents don't like me, then I must be a really bad person. 5, hardness, lack of empathy. Nothing can hurt me anymore. You thought you were tough, take a look at me. These are common characteristics of children of alcoholics. So there I was, going through my life, all happy, and then I got asked to do this, which I'm really pleased to be doing, because it's such an important association. And then I read this list. Children of alcoholics will feel different from other people. Fear, rejection, and abandonment. are extremely loyal even when faced with evidence that loyalty is undeserved, judge themselves without mercy, overreact to changes over which they have no control, yeah? Guess at what normal is. I can't tell you how significant that is in my life. I'm still, every day I'm going, well, not so much now actually, but certainly 10 or 15, a good 10 or 15 years after I left home, I was like, it was like you're in an android world and you're like, so that's how people talk to each other and that's how you eat. And you know, I really had no idea. It's taken me years to feel I'm part of society. Lie when it would be just as easy to tell the truth? No, that's something I don't do. You don't have to do all of these, aren't compulsory, don't feel attacked. I can't say I've been very balanced. Children who take care of addictive parents find it very hard to adjust to normal in adult life. Too many recent laws have increased the idea that abused children need to be locked up and punished. They've responded weakly to the tabloids' insistence that children from bad homes must be bad kids beyond help and a danger to society. Is that what we think they are? Really? Is that what you think they are? Bad kids beyond help who've brought it on themselves? Thank you. Well, I was once that swearing, drinking, drug-smoking teenager. I was once that child in the home where the music played too loud and the shouting never stopped. I was once the baby outside the bookies in the rain. I will always be the child of alcoholic parents, but my children will not. Do you know why? I was lucky. I had one person who loved me, my grandmother. She always said to me, if a child from a home like yours has one person, just one who loves them unconditionally every day of their lives, they'll be okay. And I'm living proof to that. One support. That's all it takes. One connection, one bit of confidence. You're okay, kid. Just to hear that over and over again. It really helps. So please support the National Association for the Children of Alcoholics in any way you can. Their silent screams need to be heard by this government before it feels the need to punish them. Thank you very much.